Hi everyone, thanks for joining us this evening. There is a translation service in place for anyone who wants to ask a question in Spanish. We will take questions from the floor and we'll start with Anton at Sky Sports News, yeah?
Thank you. That was dignified. Hey, Lynn, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
We were chatting, obviously, after the game, the Northern Ireland game, about, you were pretty open about the frustrations around the COVID situation and how it's affecting the build-up. Obviously, we've had more news about Hannah today, and obviously still Serena's in isolation. So, again, how frustrating is it in the build-up to such a big game that this is looming over the squad?
Yeah, it's frustrating. For somebody like Hannah, we want her around the team, and it's disappointing for her to miss out. And obviously, Serena, that's on. See how that works out. And ideally, you'd have everybody available, but I think we're lucky that we're such a well-prepared team, and despite the frustration, I think it doesn't derail us at all, which is obviously a massive sort of well done to the staff and everybody around the team for making sure it doesn't.
We heard from Serena earlier, and she was insistent. She's still working hard. She's still planning everything.
Yeah.
How's it been for you guys? And sort of talk through how much sort of contact, well, not contact, I suppose, but how much you've had to do with her.
Yeah, no, I'll back her up. She has been doing that. She stayed really well connected with us, and her normal influence, I suppose, is there. Obviously, you lose a little bit when you're not getting that sort of face-to-face contact, and the time at the game, obviously, naturally, without a manager there, it's slightly different. But no, she's ever present, and yeah, her influence on the game has been as usual as possible.
Leah, this is the first time you play against a team you're ranked below at this tournament. How big of a threat and how good are Spain? Yeah,
they're a team that we obviously massively respect. The way they play football is good to watch, and they're all a product of that same style, I suppose. All the players are on the same page, so yeah, definitely have a lot of threats. But I think we're a team that, despite our ranking, is in good shape, in good form, and hopefully our threats are as enough, I suppose, tomorrow night.
You talk about your threats, you talk about your form. Obviously, we're all very excited. You said last week you're trying to cut out the noise around the hype around the England team.
Is it still burning you? Yeah.
It's still burning you,
yeah. No, it is. It is. Again, credit to the staff around the team and also to the players. We are sort of in our own little bubble, and it's not crept in at all. Naturally, we're aware. We're realistic about the circumstances. We know it's a big game, but we have a job to do, and we're professional footballers. We have a quarter-final to play in, and a great opportunity. That's what we see it as.
Thanks, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anton. We'll go to Dan at ITV News.
Thank you. Lee, how hot was that training session this morning?
Yeah, it's I don't know what everyone's talking about. It's all right, isn't it? But no, yeah, very hot. But we've obviously adapted well and trained a little bit earlier to do as best we can.
And how have you adapted?
So we moved the training a little bit earlier, and stopping every so often for more of a drink and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not the one qualified to make decisions on how best to deal with it, but it's been good, and the intensity certainly hasn't dropped, which has been great.
I know you're saying that you see this match as an opportunity.
Yeah.
But does your mind drift to the fact that this is do or die now, and it could come to an end tomorrow, or it could be a massive step forward?
Yeah, obviously it's knockout football. The game changes once you get through the groups, and the nature of the game is different. So yeah, at the end of the day, there'll be one winner, and that's it. So of course we know the situation, but again, we choose to look at it as an opportunity, and we're confident. We're in good form, and hopefully, like I say, we can do what we've been doing this tournament tomorrow night.
And finally, just do you hope that this is a national event, that people are going down the pub and everybody's just properly going to be into this?
I hope so. I hope we've done enough in the group stages, and I think we have to interest people and get them on our journey with us, and I hope they stay with us now. It's a great opportunity. It's hopefully going to be nice weather, and I hope everybody enjoys it as much as we are, yeah.
Thanks, Dan. We'll go to Emma at BBC.
Hi, Leah. I
Hi.
just wondered about kind of the onus on you and Millie and whoever is playing in that kind of back line. We've seen you, to great effect before, play those kind of balls over the top, those diagonals for the likes of Lauren Hemp and Beth Mead. And with Spain likely to have a lot more possession, is that something that you thought about this week, just perhaps being a little bit more direct more often?
I think it's definitely a huge advantage for us that we have that in our locker. I also think that despite the fact that they want to have a lot of the ball, so do we. So we'll hopefully grow into the game in that as well. But yeah, it's a threat for us. Of course it is. It's worked for us so well in the past.
Thanks. All the best.
Thank you.
Thanks, Emma. We'll go back into the middle. Thanks.
Hi, Christina from TV2 Norway. We visited an all-girls academy here in Brighton yesterday where there's going to be 40 girls going to the match tomorrow. Can you say something about the importance a tournament like this and England's success has for the increase of girls' football in England?
Yeah, obviously with every good game that we play and with every step that we take in a tournament like this, it correlates with the interest and the opportunities, I hope, for younger girls around the country. And you know, it's definitely in the back of our minds. We want to make people proud and we want to open the doors for them, I suppose. You know, when we were younger, we may not have had this much, you know, the senior team didn't have this much exposure and it wasn't as easily as accessible as it is now for those young girls. So I hope that, like I say, our journey inspires them not only to get involved but also other people to make it available for young girls to play football.
And finally, Beth Mead has been on fire this tournament. Can you say something about her development in the last years since she didn't make the Olympic squad until what she's doing now?
Yeah, I think obviously I know Beth really well and she's a sensitive person but also knows what she wants. And I think that you can go one of two ways after a decision like that, and especially last year missing out, I know how much it hurt her, and you know, sometimes you need something just to sort of give you a little wake-up call maybe, and I think if she was happy with how she was playing before, she definitely has worked to improve herself even more, and I think now there's no argument that she deserves her place in this team, and I think that'll mean the most to her.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll go to Lindsay at UEFA.
Thanks. Obviously, it was a fantastic group stage, but bar Norway, having spoken to a few of you, it was the slower starts that seems to be the one criticism that you've had. How have you addressed that and worked towards it without leaving yourselves too open against a team like Spain?
Yeah, I think the slower starts have come down to our quality. You know, it's not necessarily a tactical shift or anything needed. It just, we need to be better on the ball. We need to move it quicker. And I think training, we've tried to do that from the off. You know, as soon as we hit the pitch, we want to hit the intensity that we want to play with. And I think that's obviously something that we are focused on because it gives you a massive advantage in the game.
Thanks. We'll go to Phil at Press Association, please.
Hi there. Earlier, the manager was asked about diversity in women's football. That issue after Anita Asante wrote her article overnight. And Anita had said about it, not in a criticism of the team or anything, but, you know, about issues in terms of the player pathway structure and that sort of thing and some various other things. So Serena said, you know, right now it's about picking what she deems as the best players, but she did say, you know, she knows the FA have got strategies in place and that she hopes there'll be more diversity in the team in the future. I guess I just wonder if you've got anything to add to that, what your thoughts are on that situation.
Yeah, no, we were happy as a player group because quite a few of the girls have made that sort of, they feel very passionately about it too, and you know, we all do, but I've heard a few speak really well to the FA and it was received as well as we'd hoped. It's definitely something that's priority for them, and there are things in place now. We're on that, you know, we're on the right path to making it not only a priority but also ready for those young girls. This tournament is going to do such a good job in inspiring so many, and nobody should be denied the opportunity to then be involved, and I think that's really important, something we feel passionately about, and luckily so do the FA. So yeah, it's on the agenda, it's a priority, and definitely something that we hope to see the effects of in the future.
Cheers, thanks.
Thanks, Phil. We'll take the microphone over to Matt at the Express, if that's okay. There are quite a few hands still raised, so if we can keep it to one question each, that would be much appreciated.
Hi. Obviously, you've had your preparations affected with Serena's COVID. And after the Northern Ireland game, Kenny Shields said it would be a massive failure if you didn't win the tournament. Are you the kind of group that fires themselves up with that sort of comment and want to perhaps put an answer back to that sort of pressure?
He's obviously entitled to his opinion. I think it's definitely something that's not crept into our camp, so it's interesting to hear. But no, I don't think so. I think we know what we want to do, and we know what we sort of dream of, I suppose, and the journey that you have to go on to achieve that. So it's not just as simple if it was happy days. But yeah, it's not as simple as that, and I think we're focused enough on the day-to-day to not let that affect us.
Thanks, Matt. If you wouldn't mind going back across the room, Bruce, we'll go to Tom Gary at the Telegraph at the back, please. Thank you. Yeah.
Leah, thanks for your time. I wanted to ask, now that we're in the knockouts, about penalty shootouts. I know some of your teammates and Serena have said that's something you've been practicing. I just wondered if you could give us an insight into what sorts of things you can do in training to kind of replicate the pressure of a shootout scenario. I know last summer there were various reports of teams injecting fan noise into training. I don't know if there's anything like that you can tell us about what you might have been doing.
Yeah, I've seen that in the past. I think for us, we've had a process and worked on that process. I think that's the most important thing, that we all know what's going to happen and control the controllables that we can. And I think anything outside of that, you would never be able to replicate it fully until you're in that moment. But not giving away any trade secrets, but we've been doing our work, so to speak. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Molly at the Times.
Hi, Leah. Obviously, we know it's the knockouts and the extra expectation that brings, but kind of England women have got to a semi-final of the last 3 major tournaments. The men have too. Does it help in a way that this isn't uncharted territory for this team anymore, and particularly members of the squad that have been in and around that situation? Someone like Jill, for example. Yeah. Does that help the squad when it comes into a game like this?
Yeah, that's where experience becomes invaluable, and those players in the squad are, so important to us because they have that. I think definitely when you've done something before, you make it easier. It becomes easier the next time. So for sure, it's an advantage that we have been in those positions, and maybe just takes that extra narrative out of the game. But a knockout game is a knockout game, and a tournament is a new tournament. So I think, you have to be ready for everything, and I don't think you can ever bank on that sort of experience. It just it's an advantage going into it.
Thanks, Molly.
Thank you.
Take a question in the middle. Thank you. Sorry, just there. Thank you.
Hi, Leah. Molly from NRK. You were talking about penalties earlier, and a few years ago you had a really absurd penalty situation against Norway in 2015. Yeah. Can you tell about that and how you experienced that situation?
Yeah, it was a bizarre situation. Came back to take it 5 days later than it was planned. I think probably the most pressurised situation I've ever been in before, and probably ever will be. I think obviously those experiences make or break you, and thankfully for me it went in.
Thanks very much. Simon at the Evening Standard, thank you.
Hi, Leah. We've obviously talked a lot about home support and things like that, but how much of an advantage, how much does it help that you're coming back to a stadium where you've obviously got exceptionally good memories, and can things like that make a small difference on the night? Yeah,
they definitely don't hurt. And I think, for example, the fans here, the atmosphere, and the fact that we put on such a good performance last time, I hope that really encourages people to come back and show the same support, because it was incredible last time. But yeah, for sure, we've been here, we're familiar with the stadium and all of those things, but also naturally having good memories. I don't think it will hurt anybody, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage.
Thanks, Simon. Take a question from Isabel on the front row.
I just wondered kind of at this stage of the tournament how you're feeling personally. Obviously, those beer gardens are going to be filling up tomorrow, and Brighton, there's a huge kind of fan area that's probably going to be packed out as well. And obviously, everyone's kind of singing Sweet Caroline as well. And just how is that kind of feeling for you? How big is it feeling? How special is it feeling?
Yeah, I think it's really special. I think when you're a player and you look back on these tournaments, you don't want it to have just gone by like that. You want to really take it in and really enjoy it along the way. And I think that's been really important in our journey. We've made sure that that's happened. You know, after we played here last time, we heard about people sort of singing on the beaches until the early hours and stuff like that. And it's lovely. It's something that we've all experienced as fans. And like I say, we're here to do a job, and there's a time when we focus on the football. But for sure, to know that the nation are enjoying it as much as they are, and as hopefully as proud as they say they are, fills me with a lot of pride, and especially the girls.
Thank you.
Thanks, Isabel. We'll go to NOS at the back.
Thank you. So last time Arjan Veurink was there on the pitch to support you guys. What will it mean, though, if Serena gets back tomorrow to be there with you guys?
Yeah, obviously it'll be a massive bonus for us. Serena's experience and character speaks for itself, and she's great at connecting with us. So obviously it's great to have her influence, and it's not changed anything in terms of the information that she provides. But naturally, having her around the team is a good thing as well. I think we're sturdy enough to survive without her, as we showed the other day. But I think to have her back would be great. Obviously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We've got time for one more question. If not, yep, we'll take a question from Antoine at the back from Canal Plus.
Thank you. Leah, we know how is important Beth Mead for your team. She scores a lot of goals. Is actually the team is mid addict?
Say that again, sorry, that last bit.
Like the team depend of
okay,
Beth
yeah.
Mead. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think obviously it's been great for Beth. She's in... I'm not going to big her up too much, get her too big. But yeah, she's been incredible, and I think it's been great that she can add that. But I think if you see the way that we play, and I don't think we're too dependent on it. I'd hope not anyway. But I think that if you have a player that's scoring that much, naturally you're going to give her the ball and hope that she does the business. So yeah, it's definitely an advantage for us, and hopefully tomorrow night will be as balanced as we have been throughout the tournament so far.
Thanks, Antoine.
Thank you.
We'll take a final question from Matt from the Metro at the front, and then we will conclude.
Hi, Leah.
Hi.
How hard's it kind of been to lose, obviously, teammates, the COVID and the manager? Does it show how strong you are as a team that you've been able to kind of take those blows and still progress?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's, you can only control the controllables, and I think we've always been a really prepared team and think outside the box and are ready for every possible scenario. So we've done really well, and it does speak volumes of us and our staff group and how together we are. And obviously it's devastating, especially for the girls that have missed the games and Serena, because you want them around the team and we want them there with us. But I think we're resilient enough to get through, which is a credit to us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Thank you to you all for your time. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks.